Hi, I'm Dr. Tamara Hamai. I help nonprofit leaders to create more sustainable impact through every transition. This video talks about how to lead a nonprofit organization without burnout. I know it might sound a little impossible. So many nonprofit leaders that I have met are in burnout, burnt out, or on the way to being burnt out. It seems like it's impossible to avoid, but it is. It is possible. You can lead an organization without killing yourself. Every day, there are so many things coming at you. You have a lot of balls in the air that you are juggling, and there's so many different people that are demanding and asking for your time. As a leader, it can be really hard to know what to do, when to do it, what you should do first, when everything really feels mission critical. Everything feels like if you don't do it, everything could fall apart. I get it, and I know it's hard. And I'm going to give you some practical tips today, but it's not going to solve the problem immediately. It's something that will happen over time. So you need to start by just giving yourself a little bit of grace of you're not in this alone and it is not your fault, right? This is the system that we're in. Nonprofits are really under so many demands to make magic out of very little. And this is the consequence, right? We burn our people out. First, my recommendation is to focus. It's a simple word, focus, right? But what I've seen a lot of nonprofit leaders doing is trying to do everything. Everything feels important to you, I understand. And you also have a lot of passion. I remember one executive director that I worked with in the past. Every time I spoke with them, had a new idea for a new service or program that they were going to deliver in their county. Now, every time. And keep in mind, we spoke every couple of weeks, right? So there were always new ideas. And I could see every time they came up with a new idea, how the whole team around them was like, oh gosh, okay, how are we going to do this? When I worked with them over several years, while there was a core thing that they did, the things around it were always changing, always new programs. This is something that is going to burn you out. It's not going to just burn you out. It's going to burn out all the people around you. It is great to be passionate about your work, but every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to other things because you have to. You can only have so much capacity and time and resources to do so much, right? So you can't deliver all the programs. You can't add that new program when the other programs aren't fully operational yet or when they're unstable. Right? You need to be focusing your resources and time and effort. I talk about our sustainable impact model where we have the three basically pillars of nonprofit management. We have mission, which is the what you do, right? And this is where you can really focus what you do on the things that are going to create the most impact toward your mission, that are going to be the most beneficial, that have the best, in essence, return on your efforts. Right? It makes it really valuable when you engage in something and it creates the change that you're aiming for. Next, we have method. Method is how you do what you do. Are you operating efficiently? Are you setting up systems that are really sustainable and consistent? Are you able to consistently deliver high quality services every single time for every person? The method is your operational how. You want to focus on maintaining a simple of an operational system as you can. Keep as few things as you need to really deliver things consistently. And you can add things and make things more sophisticated over time, but start as simple as you can. You don't need the fanciest and most comprehensive tools. You don't need those things right away. So just start with, how can I consistently get this program delivered and consistently do it with high quality so that every participant has an excellent experience and achieves the outcomes that we're aiming for? Then, how can we do that in less time or more efficiently? How can we serve more people, right? These are things that can then lead to more sophistication, but focus first on the simplest processes, the lowest burden and the least expensive. The next pillar is message. This is talking about what you do and how you do it, your story of your organization and its impact with other people outside the organization. This is your communications and marketing and fundraising efforts. It's building your accountability as well as your reputation in the community. Talking consistently about what you do and the impact it creates. How can you focus on the core messages that you need to communicate to the most important audiences that you have for your long-term sustainability and success? And how can you consistently communicate that message to them? You don't need a super intense communication plan. Just focus on the one most important audience first and that message. How can you consistently communicate with them? And then you can start adding on more audiences and different reasons and purposes, etc. in the future. So again, focus. When you add on more things, make sure that it's really deeply intentional. Are you sure that you have the infrastructure and resources that you need to sustain adding that thing in? When you add new things, whether it's new programs or new technology or new systems or new people, new roles, right? This complicates your organization and it makes it harder on you as the leader. So be really intentional about focusing on what your organization and you as a leader are really, really good at, and keep doing that. In order to avoid burnout or stop your burnout, heal from that burnout, is collaboration and community. We cannot do everything alone. I know that I personally have been burned, right, by team members and partners who don't follow through on what they've promised, and trying to delegate things to other people and trust other people to do high quality work it's hard sometimes. We've been let down before. We have to continue to choose to trust other people though, because our missions are bigger than us. There is no mission that we're aiming for that one organization or one person can achieve completely on their own. Being in community, in connection with people who are really like you in the sense that they get it. They are leaders as well. They know what the challenges are. They feel those ups and downs. They've gone through the letdowns. They've gone through the trust breaks. They've gone through the pressures that you go through and you've gone through. That starts with healing up those damages and hurts from the past. It also helps to set you in a foundation where you can start to look for trusting collaboration. You need to partner with other people who are maintaining organizations themselves that are serving either the same population or the same mission as you in order to really make progress toward your mission. Things like improving affordable housing access are multidisciplinary, right? These are intersections of systems that you can't work and change all the systems, but other people are working in those other spaces. And so partnering with people in employment, in economics, in education, in housing development, in etc., right? You need to have collaborations with partners across all the different aspects of the system and multiple systems, right, that are influencing your mission in order to actually progress toward it. So collaboration that comes from a foundation of a supportive and positive community is going to help you lift some of that burden, because the responsibility is not all yours. And right now, a lot of nonprofit leaders are holding the responsibility and weight on their shoulders that they need to let go, right? That's what's guilting you into working too much. It's what makes it that hurt, right? When you feel like, oh, we should have helped that person, but we didn't, we couldn't, or we don't have enough money to help that community that needs it so much. It's because we're limited by our reach from staying too siloed, too individual. And then lastly, reflective cycles that incorporate our internal data, right? Our feelings and emotions and that of other people, as well as the information that is constantly being collected through our organizational activities and our evaluation activities, right? Like going through a cycle of planning, execution, and then reflection, and then action planning, adaptation, right? Like that cycle of always reflecting and changing and adapting to improve is going to help you to always have a focus of this is what we're working on changing now, and everything else we don't need to do right now. Doing this process with other people. I encourage people to form little internal organizational alliances where you have different team members from different roles. You have potentially participants in the program, partners that you really are engaged with deeply, right? In a little alliance where all of you are committed to reflecting and action planning and executing on things that will improve and strengthen your organization's movement toward its mission. I know that often nonprofit leaders are so busy that we are looking down and doing the work instead of looking up and thinking forward, thinking about the future and reflecting as to how we're fitting into the larger context. And so establishing a cadence of these sort of reflective meetings and planning meetings is going to help you to block out that window of time on a regular basis to strategically think about where should our focuses be, what should we be working on, and what can we ignore right now for this next month or quarter or year, right? So that we can really devote our energy toward the strengthening and building and expanding that we want to focus on. So to recap, in order for nonprofit leaders to prevent burnout as they're leading their organizations, for themselves, but really for other people as well, we need to focus our mission, method, and message, be in community with others, and collaborate with others to achieve our missions. Ultimately, go through regular cycles of reviewing, reflecting, and acting so that we can always be improving and strengthening our foundations. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe so that you can see other videos from me about how nonprofit leaders can create more sustainable impact through every transition. Rock on.